Okay, so these are the same types of problems. They all have inverses, but they are composite. We call them compositions because they have two parts. So two parts to them, you just got to do part by part. Okay, so for letter A, we're going to do what's inside the parentheses first because our operation says we take care of what's inside the parentheses. So we're going to do that first. So sine, so we have to figure out this problem first. What is sine of 3 pi over 2? Okay, well, sine is y over 1. So at 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 is the same as 270 degrees. So y over 1, so you have negative 1 over 1, so negative 1. Okay, so these two, this right here, and negative 1 are the same thing. They both have the same answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this, except now I'm going to take the answer and write it in here. So you're not going to see that anymore. I'm going to substitute it. So now it's going to say inverse sine of negative 1. Okay? Because negative 1 is the same as this, has the same value. So now I'm just going to find inverse sine of negative 1. Well, with sine, we're going to go from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. That's what we're looking for inverse. So we got to figure out where negative 1 is. Where is the y? So remember, sine is y over 1. So where is y negative 1? So this is where I'm going to look. The part that's highlighted, I'm going to look there because that's where it says negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. So where is y equal to negative 1? Well, the only spot that it's equal to is right here, 3 pi over 2. So this is going to equal 3 pi over 2. So the whole answer is 3 pi over 2. So it's just parts. Okay, you're just doing it by parts. Okay, letter B. Well, first we're going to do secant at pi. Secant at pi. So secant, write this down, secant is the same as 1 over cosine. Okay. And also cosine is x over 1. So actually it's 1 over x because it's not the inverse, the reciprocal of cosine. Because cosine is x over 1. So the reciprocal will be 1 over x. Okay, so at pi. So at pi, we're looking for the x value. So that would be right here. The x value is negative 1. So it's 1 over negative 1. So secant at pi is 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. So again, I'm going to substitute that value in there because I know the answer to secant of pi now. So inverse sine of negative 1. Well, we just did that problem. We did it right there. That answer is 3 pi over 2. Done. That's the answer I'm looking for. Okay, and then the last one here. Okay, so we have cosine. Inverse cosine of tangent of 0. So the first thing we got to do is figure out tangent of 0. Where is tangent going to be 0? Okay, remember, tangent is y over x. So if it's going to equal 0, that means the top has to be 0 and the bottom has to be a number. Okay, that will give us 0. So we're looking for where y is 0 and x is a number. Okay, so let's go down here. Where is y 0? And also, for tangent, we're only looking for this side. Negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. Okay, so again, we're only looking at this side here. So we're looking for where y is 0 and x is a number. Okay, because tangent is y over x, and for the whole thing to be equal to 0, that means 0 has to be on top. So where is y 0 on that side? Well, the only place is right here. 2 pi which is the same as 360, which is also the same as 0 pi or 0 degrees. Any of these will work. Okay, but let's go back up. Remember, our answer for inverse has to be between those. So the one that's between that is going to be 0 pi. Okay, so this is going to equal 0 or 0 pi. Same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to substitute this in here. So I have arc cosine or inverse cosine of 0. So this is asking, where is cosine equal to 0? Where is cosine going to be 0? And it has to be from 0 to pi. Okay, so where is cosine 0? So remember, cosine is x over 1. So for that to be 0, x has to be 0. So we're looking for, where is x 0? From 0 to pi. Okay. So, looking right here. So where is x 0? Well, x is 0 here, and that's about it. At pi over 2. So it's pi over 2. That's the final answer. So these are just what we call composites because they have two parts. They have an inside part and they have an outside part. Always do the inside and then do the outside.